Good afternoon, Atherton High School. So we are ready to discuss what the grading procedures will be for this NTI time frame, as well as how we will finalize grades and how course credits will be earned, assuming that we don't return to the traditional school environment this school year. So I want to be able to lay that out for you so that you understand what to expect in the way of your engagement in NTI learning activities with your teachers. It is so critically important that our students stay connected. If you're in if you have access and you have the capacity to do so, we want you to be able to finish your courses this school year so that you'll be best prepared for next school year. So let me explain a few things. So the things I'll be discussing right now are grading during the NTI period, final grades and how those will be assigned if we do not return to the traditional school environment, and then finally what the assignment of course credits will look like for those who are satisfactorily participating and completing NTI learning activities, and for those who are struggling with that or do not have the capacity to do that this year. So it's kind of our guiding mission for thinking about grading for NTI was to make sure that it was reflective of student mastery, it was flexible in its implementation, and it was achievable by students. I think the core thing that we want to enforce here is that satisfactory participation in NTI is a critical component for a student to be able to earn their course credit by the end of the school year, whenever that may be. And we do understand that there's going to be limitations, not only for our staff, but even for our students. So we want to have a grading policy that'll be adaptable based on our students' needs. So as I mentioned, kind of the core requirement is that there is participation, not only participation, but engagement and satisfactorily meeting learning expectations during the NTI period. And teachers can monitor this in multiple ways. They may use numerical values. They may use a met or not met, completed or not completed system. This system would be explained to students in the Google Classroom and as well as to parents in the NTI school website. So you understand what's expected of the student in order to satisfactorily demonstrate mastery in that subject. Now, a fail-safe that we have established for our students is that that the grade that they earn in a class will not be less than the grade that they had their last day in the building. Now, I just want to reinforce, though, that a student will not be issued a grade at all until they've satisfactorily completed course expectations. So, a student who's struggling getting the learning expectations completed by the end of this school year, they will have the summer. They may even have to go into next fall in order to meet those expectations and have that credit assigned. But their grades will not go down; they can only go up from here. So that's the important thing is students can be earning it now, or they may have to earn it later if they don't have the access or they just don't have the capacity in their home environment or with things that they may be struggling with in their lives during this time. So if a student is struggling with completing course expectations, we do highly encourage you to reach out to the teacher to make sure the teacher understands what's going on, as well as reaching out to a counselor to explain to them what's going on and help be informed on the appropriate next steps to take in order to satisfactorily meet course expectations and to earn the appropriate credit that they should have. So the thing we want to emphasize as well is that participating in NTI is essential, it's important, and it will guide the student in satisfactorily completing the learning tasks. But simply participating is not enough to earn the grade. Kind of like at school, you know, you may come to school, but if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not getting the academic component of that, the grade component. So um, a student will not be negatively affected in their grade when it is eventually assigned if they are unable to participate during this time. But simply participating is not going to meet those expectations. We really want students to be prepared for next school year academically. So we hope that they'll be able to have the resources, have the structure in their home, and then have the support in order to be able to do that. But if not, we'll support you this summer and this coming school year as needed. Now, finally, I want to let you know that our teachers of seniors uh, talked about this. We voted on it, and ultimately, we came to the conclusion. We know a lot of our seniors are already working. You have a lot of other things you're preparing for next for what life looks like after high school. So, one thing we've come up with is that if a senior is unable or does not participate in NTI, their grade cannot be any lower than what it was on March 13th. Now, they can improve their grade, and senior teachers will continue to provide learning experiences, and then ultimately they will decide if that improves their grade enough to move it up a grade level. But that is just like on a normal school year. That's the teacher's discretion to establish what those learning expectations are, how they are measured, and then ultimately the impact that'll have on a student's grade. So I hope what you see in these procedural expectations is that it's critically important for students to remain engaged in NTI, and there's a structure in place in order to support students to not be negatively impacted by this NTI structure, but also if they are unable to participate, they're unable to meet the learning expectations, then they will have time either during the summer or next fall when things stabilize and we can provide those supports in order to earn that credit because their satisfactory completion of course expectations is necessary in order to issue that credit. Now, I received several emails about the comments from yesterday's afternoon announcements regarding our renovation. I wanted to show you a few things here that we're planning on doing to really kind of showcase our academies as you walk through the building. These are just kind of a projection of ideas, but it's really exciting to see what we're planning for next school year, and I hope our students are excited about that as well. I just want to encourage everyone to continue to visit our website. That's where you get the day to day updates on things that are happening that will impact our students. Also, want to encourage you to monitor your workload. If a student is feeling overwhelmed in a class or in multiple classes, we encourage them to reach out to their teachers and just talk with them about it. Trust me, our teachers completely understand. So if you're wanting a little help or you at least you're explaining where you're struggling, meeting some expectations, I know our teachers will be eager to work with you. Juniors, we went ahead and made the decision to go ahead and encourage our ring companies to mail the rings or allow you to pick them up. So you can go to our website to learn more about that. And seniors, our senior task force met today, and we're really brainstorming a lot of great ideas that we're already starting to take action on. And I hope you get to see what that looks like here in the very near future. Also, seniors, I want to remind you that we have over a dozen school-based scholarships, most of them $1,000, that are available to Atherton students. The deadline is May 1st. Make sure you go to your senior Google Classroom to complete the application. Well, Rebels, it was good talking to you today. I appreciate your patience and I appreciate your dedication to your education. And remember, what you do makes a difference. See you next time.